Hello students, we have already completed the first lesson of history, that is historiography, development in the West. Today we are going to start the second lesson of history, that is historiography, Indian tradition. Historiography in the ancient period. In this topic, in ancient period in India, memories of great deeds of ancestors and mythological lore, stories, beliefs, that is mythological lore means stories and beliefs which were passed from one generation to another generation. These are the memories of the social transactions were preserved with oral recitals. Inscriptions on Harappan seals and other artifacts confirms that Indians had writing skills as early as the 3rd millennium BCE, that is 3000 years ago or before that. Now these inscriptions which were written, which were found on the Harappan seals and other artifacts which were found in the 3rd millennium of the Christian era, that is before the Christian era. But Harappan seals is not yet successfully deciphered. That is, deciphered means to find out the meaning of that. The earliest known written documents of historical nature found in India in the form of inscriptions dated 3rd century BCE during the Emperor Ashoka Maurya's times. His edicts are inscribed on natural rocks and stone pillar. His edicts means the king's edicts. Edicts means the orders or the important decisions taken by the king during those times. Students, now see the picture on page number 7. Let us understand it. The copper plate was found at Sohagaura, district Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh. It is supposed to be from Mauryan period. It is in the Brahmi script. In the corner we see a tree in railing and the mountain having three semicircles on each other. It is also occur on punch mark coins. Another symbol which looks like a structure erected on four pillars is a granary. The inscriptions record a royal order that the grain stored in granary should be distributed carefully. It is supposed to be suggestive of precautions taken in the times of famine. From 1st century CE, inscriptions began to occur on coins, metal images, and sculptures, and also on copper plates. They provide information about dates of various kings, dynastic genealogies, territorial extent, and administration of various empires and kingdoms, political events, social organizations, climate, famines, etc., of respective time. The ancient Indian literature, for example, epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata, Puranas, Jain Buddhist texts, historical accounts from Indian authors, and also travelogues written by foreign travelers are important sources of history. Writings of biographies of kings and dynastic histories mark an important step in Indian historiography. Harshcharit, written by Banabhat in 7th century, was a biography of King Harsha. It includes a real picture of social, economic, political, religious, and cultural life during his times. Now let us study about the historiography in the medieval period. That is 6th century to 16th century is the medieval period of India. Raj Tarangani. This was a book written on the history of Kashmir by Kalhan in 12th century CE is an excellent form of modern historiography. He wrote this text by critically examining various sources like inscriptions, coins, ancient monuments, records, and local traditions. Here students critically examining means studying carefully the things which were found in Kashmir in those times. For example, inscriptions, coins, monuments which were built in the Kashmir, records and traditions of Kashmir. In medieval period in India, the historians in the court of Muslim rulers were influenced by Arabic and Persian historiography. That means they were having the impact of Arabic style and Persian style of writing history. Among them was Ziauddin Barni wrote Tuzike Firozshahi, in which he stated the purpose of historiography. He told that the duty of historian is not limited only to record the ruler's valor and policies of welfare, but he should also write about the failures and wrong politics. In short, Burney stated that a historian should not record only the good deeds of rulers, but also the mistakes or the wrong policies taken by him. He further stated that the historian should consider the teachings of the wise, the learned saints on the cultural life of people. Thus, Burney expanded the scope of historiography. It was more important for historians in Mughal courts praising the emperors and exhibition of loyalty. They were for praising the Mughal emperors, they were adding suitable poetic quotes. Beautiful pictures were introduced by them on Mughal emperors. Also, they were composing many songs on them to make happy. Babur, who was the founder of Mughal Empire, wrote autobiography. The name of his book was Tuzke Babri. Description about the battle fought by him, minute observation of various regions which he had travelled during his times, and the cities, local economy of those times in India, customs of India, flora and fauna. Another historian of Mughal period was Abul Fazl. He wrote a book, that is biography, named Akbarnama, on the life of Emperor Akbar. His method of collecting authentic historical documents and their scrutiny look upon a devoid of bias and hence realistic. Authentic means reliable, trustworthy, and scrutiny means enquiry or careful examination. So he collected the authentic, that is reliable historical documents and examined it very carefully, and then he wrote the biography of Akbar. The next topic is Bakhar. Bakhar is an important historical document of medieval times. It contains eulogies of the heroes and stories of historical events, battles, lives of great men. There are various types of Marathi Bakhar. The important Marathi Bakhars are: first one, Sabasad Bakhar, which was written by Krishnaji Anand Sabasad. He wrote this Bakhar on the times of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj, about the rule of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. The second Bakhar is Bhau Sahebanchi Bakhar, which describes the battle of Panipat. It was written on the battle of Panipat, in which Sadashirao Bhau, who was died in this battle. The next Bakhar is Panipatachi Bakhar. It also contains the same information about the battle of Panipat. होळकरांची कैफियत, Now, Kaifiyat is about the detailed information about the Holkars and their contributions to the Maratha rule. Holkar family was totally devoted towards the Maratha rule, and on this family history, this Kaifiyat or Holkaranchi Kaifiyat is written. Buckers can be divided into various types such as biographies of kings, dynastic history, descriptions of events, history of a sect, autobiographies regarding grievance based on mythologies, and state administration by a king. Historiography in modern period. Modern period begins in the later half of the 17th century in India with the arrival of British in India. When British came to India, they were very much curious about the Indian tradition, culture, literature, sculptures, monuments, social life, education, etc. So, in the 20th century, the Indian archaeological exploration and research started under the British rule. Number of sites were excavated under the supervision of Sir Alexander Cunningham, first Director General of Archaeological Survey of India. Sites mentioned in the Buddhist texts were chosen. Now, sites means places where this type of archaeological survey was undertaken, which was mentioned in the Buddhist books. Harappan civilization was discovered during the tenure means period, of Sir John Marshall. It proved that Indian civilization dated back to 3rd millennium BCE. Many British officials in India wrote about Indian history. Their writings display strong influence of the colonial policies of the British. The British officer James Mill wrote a book, The History of British India. Its 3 volumes were published in 1817. The governor of Bombay, today's Mumbai, Mount Stuart Elphinstone, wrote a book named The History of India, which was published in 1841. Another officer, Grant Duff, wrote a book on Maratha history named A History of Marathas, have 3 volumes. It shows inclination towards condemning Indian culture and history. Colonel Todd wrote History of Rajasthan. He had a condemning attitude towards Indians. William Wilson Hunter wrote a book named A Brief History of India. Its 2 volumes shows somewhat impartial treatment of history. Nilkant Janadar Kirtani and Vishwa Kashinath Rajwade Vishwanath Kashinath Rajwade, the 2 Indian historians, took the task of exposing the limitations of Grant Duff's writings. Colonial historiography. In India, British established their colonial rule and their history writing is called as colonial historiography. It was mainly written by the British officers and Christian missionaries. Their writings reflects their view that Indian culture has negligible importance. Negligible means less important, no importance. They ridicule the Indian culture as backward and undeveloped. Ridicule means to make the fun. So they make the fun of Indian culture as backward and undeveloped. Their writing justifies the colonial rule. The 5 volumes of Cambridge History of India were published between 1922 to 1937 CE are the examples of colonial historiography. Indian historiography, various ideological frameworks. Frameworks means structure or ideas. Orientalist historiography. Many European historians who had curiosity about countries in the East were known as Orientalists. They conducted a comparative study of Sanskrit and European languages. Their studies stated that Indian language could be mother of all Indo-European language. Orientalist historians. First, Sir William James. He founded the Asiatic Society in Kolkata in 1784. It started research in ancient Indian literature and history. Second historian was Friedrich Max Müller, was deeply interested in Sanskrit language and literature. He translated Sanskrit texts of Hitopadesh in German. He published 50 volumes of the sacred books of the East. He compiled Rig Veda in 6 volumes and translated in German. Edward Said. He brought imperialistic interests of Orientalist historians into the light. Now students, let us see what is nationalist historiography. In 19th century, English educated Indian historians felt the need to restore the pride of the glory of ancient Indian culture. Their writings are known as nationalist historiography. Prior to independence, that is in 18th century, some leaders and social workers who took the Western education, they felt the need to bring the India glory into the light. So they started writing about the glorious past of India, and this is said as nationalist historiography. In Maharashtra, Vishnu Shastri Chiplunker inspired the nationalist historiography. They criticized the prejudiced history of ancient India written by British officers. The Indian historians created awareness among Indians through their writings about our rich past. They tried to see golden era of Indian history. At that times they were criticized for glorifying the past at length and ignoring the historical truths. Nationalist historians, some are here. The first is Mahadev Govind Ranade, second Anant Sadashiv Altekar, third Kashi Prasad Jaiswal, fourth is Radha Kumud Mukherjee, fifth Rajendra Lal Mishra, sixth Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, seventh Vasudev Vishnu Mirashi, eighth Ramesh Chandra Muzumdar, ninth Bhagwan Lal Indraji, and 10th Ramkrishna Gopal Bhandarkar. Let us study about some nationalist historians. First one is Vishnu Shastri Chiplunker. He advocated nationalism. He was a true patriot of our nation. He inspired nationalist historiography in Maharashtra. He criticized the prejudice, that is narrow-minded or of wrong opinion, history of ancient India written by British officials. The second historian is V.K. Rajwade. He wrote a book named मराठ्यांच्या इतिहासाची साधने. He gave his views on nationalist historiography through 22 volumes of this book. He founded Bharat Itihas Sanshodhak Mandal. He stated that history was not included only in the stories of political images, conspiracies, and wars for seizing power, but history is in all inclusive images of past societies. He was of opinion that we should write our own history. He insisted that history should be written using authentic documents. The third historian is Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade. He wrote a book named The Rise of Maratha Power. He explained in detail the background of the rise of Maratha power. This outbreak was not erupted suddenly, but this anger was simmering in the hearts of Indians for a long period of time. Fourth nationalist historian is Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. He wrote a book named The Indian War of Independence 1857. He inspired the Indians to fight against British rule. Through his writings, by this, the nationalist historiography gained momentum and inspired for writing regional historians. The fifth historian is Govind Sakharam Sardesai. Through his Riyasat written in Marathi, he presented an account of over 1000 years of the Indian history up till 1848. He also wrote several volumes of New History of Marathas in English. His work became so famous that people began to call him Riyasatkar.